In today's session, we are going to look at the transfer function of systems with gear trains. So you might have seen how the gear looks like, gear trains. As I had given you one example of your the clocks. Okay, the clocks, bigger clocks inside the mechanism, how the wheels will be rotating. You know, based from the movement of those wheels, which are attached to one another, the rotation will get transferred. The energy is getting transferred. That's how the gear trains work. You can see the figure here. This is the front view of a gear train system. You can see two wheels are connected. Okay, we call them gears. In mechanical language, we call them gears. Gear trains are used to in the control systems to attain mechanical matching of motor to load. In the sense, in electrical systems, you might have studied about the transformer. The same work is done by these gear trains here. Usually, servo motor operates at a high speed but with a lower torque. Okay, this is about the servo mechanism, what we have seen in automatic controls. This is a servo mechanism. The servo motor, it operates at a higher speed but with a lower torque. This is the requirement for the servo motor to run properly. High speed and low torque. Okay, this whatever high speed and low torque, this will be achieved by using this gear train. So these are those systems which will achieve this high speed and low torque, which is actually the requirement for servo mechanism. Thus, in mechanical systems, gear trains act as a matching devices like transformers. As I said, in electrical systems, you have come across primary winding, secondary winding, right? Transformers, turns ratio, step up transformer, step down. So what is the function of a transformer? You know about it. In electrical systems, you have studied. So the similar work is done here by gear trains in mechanical systems. Now, as an example, how the transfer function will be calculated for these gear train systems, we will see it. Once you understand the mechanism behind it, you can solve the problems easily. A figure shows a motor driving the load through a uh, gear train, which consists of two gears coupled together. See here, these two, if you see, there are two figures here actually. ये फ्रंट व्यू है आपका. अगर आप यहाँ साइड से देखोगे, ओके, तो ऐसे दिखेंगे ये. these are teeth, right? ये ऐसा है. I cannot draw this something like this. ऐसा राउंड जो है, ये जो फ्रंट वाला पार्ट होगा, ये आप यहाँ से अगर आप इधर रुक के देखेंगे तो ऐसे दिखेगा. ओके, दिस इज जस्ट अ सेंटर पार्ट. यहाँ पे है सेंटर, ये व्हील है. Okay, ये this gear, and it has got some teeth here. You can see. I think this kind of structure even you have studied in electrical engineering subject also. So there is a motor driving the load. So we have the setup through this gear train. So here look at this structure. You can see you have a shaft here. Okay, this is one shaft, and over which this first gear is connected. It is having some number of teeth, say N1. This is your shaft 1. It will be having its own moment of inertia and also the viscous friction coefficient B1. This is for first gear train I'm talking about. And you have the input torque from the motor. ये shaft है, shaft के through motor connected है. पूरे system में ये सिर्फ थोड़ा part दिखाया है जहाँ पे gear trains हैं. But otherwise complete system is not shown here. So ये जो torque develop होगा वो motor, from the motor, that is TM. There is one more gear here. ये वाला part जो है, this first, it is for this particular gear, first gear. And coming to the lower one, this is your second gear. You have one more shaft here. Okay, don't think that why we are studying theory. Okay, but theory अगर आप समझेंगे, the mechanism behind it, how to take the directions, what to do, or how to find the transfer function, theory में अगर पता चला, then only you can solve the problems. So this is your second shaft. It is having its own moment of inertia and the viscous friction coefficient. Shaft 2, it is having some number of teeth. So you can see some number of teeth are there, say N2 teeth. Then N2 teeth are there. Then for this torque, you can see in further it is connected to the load, right? Here you have a motor, here you have a load. So through this, the energy is being transferred through the rotations. Okay. So load torque, you can see it. It is in this direction. Observe the directions of the torque here from the motor and to the load. So they are in opposite direction. अगर ये आप clockwise consider करते हो तो ये anti-clockwise होगा. In the sense, opposite direction में they act. Here, this is actually the proper one. So what does this mean? Even if you try to imagine ये कैसे rotate होगा, ये अगर ऐसे rotate होने वाला है तो the other one will move in opposite direction, right? Then only the rotation occurs properly. दोनों एक ही direction में अगर rotate हो रहे हैं तो complete motion transfer नहीं होगा, right? You can imagine. So this is the structure. This is your primary gear, that is first gear. This is secondary gear, and they're having their own radii, say R1 and R2. Fine. Circumference may change. See, I have drawn this first figure, the first gear. Circumference थोड़ा बड़ा है, but here थोड़ा छोटा है. The area is, ये यहाँ पे ज्यादा दिखेगा, यहाँ पे कम है, but the angular distance जो cover कर रहे हैं, they both are same, right? 360 degrees. Angular displacement जो हो रहा है उनका, they both are same, but however their areas, they are different. So the gear with N1 teeth, we call it primary gear. That is primary winding जो हम electrical system में transformer के लिए पढ़ते हैं. And similarly, the second gear, we call it secondary gear, and it is equivalent to your secondary winding, right? N1, N2, you know the turns ratio. Okay, these are some terminologies which we are going to use it. TM is the torque developed by the motor, right? From the motor, we are getting the torque TM, and TL is the torque developed by the load. Theta 1, theta 2 are the angular displacements at shaft 1 and 2. You can see here, you have a theta 1 here, and you have theta 2 here. Angular displacements, दोनों opposite direction में हैं. J1 and J2 are the moment of inertia for motor for gear 1 and for second gear and low. Okay, अगर आप देखेंगे figure में, जो first gear है आपका, this is connected to the motor, and your second gear, it is connected to the load. And B1 and B2 are the viscous friction coefficients of first one. B1 क्या होगा, motor and gear के बीच वाला होगा, and B2, it is gear 2 and the load. So these are some terminologies which we are going to use. Now, similarly, how we go for transfer function finding? First, anyhow, we want the differential equations. That is our equilibrium equations. We want torque equations. So here we are going to get two different equations. First, let us try to formulate the equations for shaft 1. You have a torque here, you have J, you have B, right? J hai, B hai, and torque hai. You can see the total torque developed, that is from the motor, that is equal to the opposing torques. That is J1 d by dt square of theta 1, B1 d by dt square of T1, theta 1 plus T1. We will see what is that torque T1. I have not indicated, I guess. What is that torque T1? No, I have not indicated it. And for the second shaft, the differential equation is the second torque T2. This I'm talking about. Okay, the direction I have shown here also, you can see. I have shown the direction, but I have not marked it. T1 and T2. So that T2 will be equal to J2. You can see for the second shaft, you have J2, you have B2, and you have TL. So ये जो torque होगा, this is equivalent to opposing these three, TL, TB, and TJ. Okay, so equation 1 and 2. As I said, these two R1 and R2 are the radii of gear 1 and 2. If you see, even though उनका area अलग अलग है, the first gear is bit bigger in size if compared it with the second gear. But however, the if you see the angular distance with that they cover, it is same. It is same for both. Okay. R1 and R2 are the radii of gear 1 and 2. Even though they are, the sizes of those two gears are different, one is bigger, one is the smaller one, but the angular displacement, the angular distance that they cover, the angle, it is same. So that's why you can see here R1 into theta 1, which will give you the circumference, is equal to R2 into theta 2. I have equated them. Even though they are having different radii, angular display, the distance traveled is same. Or I can take the ratio, this is one thing. And secondly, theta 2 by theta 1 is equal to n1 by n2. Probably you might have studied this in electrical engineering, not in terms of angular distances, probably some other parameter you have taken. Okay. So theta 2 by theta 1 is n1 by n2. Those are number of teeth. So totally we come across three equations here. From these three, we will be making use of these three equations frequently. One is theta 1 R1 is equal to theta 2 R2. First one, theta 2 by theta 1 is equal to n1 by n2, inversely related. And third one, T1 theta 1 is equal to torque developed is equal to T2 theta 2. This is a third one. So if I can combine all these, because in first, second and third equation, theta term is common. Okay. So if I take the ratio theta 2 by theta 1, which is equal to n1 by n2, okay, or if you take the ratio here theta 2 by theta 1, what I will get? Theta 2 by theta 1, t1 by t2. So t1 by t2 I have written here. So this is what we get. Important equation altogether I have written here. See, theta 2 by theta 1 in terms of all. No doubt, torque 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. This is your acceleration, because if theta is your angular displacement, I can even take the account of velocity and acceleration also, right? So theta 2 is theta. This two dots indicates double differentiation. One dot indicates one time differentiation. This is your acceleration. This is your velocity. This relationship is important. This ratio we are going to see. We are going to use more frequently in the problems. Okay. So if n1 by n2 is less than 1, what do you mean by this? n1 by n2 is less than 1. It means numerator छोटा है, denominator बड़ा है. In the sense, ये जो मैंने structure draw किया है, इसमें से जो number of teeth हैं, these n1 value, the number of teeth in the first year, they are small, they are lesser compared to the second year. If that is the case, that is the condition. For that particular condition, the gear train ready. Okay, because servo mechanism में servo motor, with the main requirement is high speed and low torque. So that condition is achieved when this condition is fulfilled. N1 by N2 is less than 1. In the sense, N1, the number of teeth in first gear, they should be less compared to the denominator, that is second gear. Okay. Now, let me simplify this further. Here, equation 1 and 2. If you see, you're having this equation 1 is for Tm, equation 2 is for T2. Okay. T2 is for second shaft, T1 is for first shaft. I have just indicated the torques here, but I have not written the names. See, this is your developed torque. This is also a developed torque. Okay, the direction I have shown you. So T1 is for shaft 1, T2 is for shaft 2. If that is the case, let me just take the equation 1. What is equation 1? It is for torque Tm. From the motor, what torque we are getting, that Tm is equal to this. J1 plus B1 plus torque 1. This is for shaft 1. So from that equation, what further we can write is J1, this is as it is, and B1, this is as it is. Now I have replaced this. Let's see how I have replaced this. You can see, as I told you, I have to make use of this relationship. which I have written here, hence. Okay. From this relationship, what I'm going to do is, you have torque T1. Okay. But the availability is for T2 also. So what I will do, I will try to express one thing in terms of the other. How I have done? Let me take the ratio